Scout Boats è un costruttore americano con sede in
Scout Boats is an American manufacturer based in South Carolina. Its range includes over 20 models, ranging from 25 to 53 feet, and this is the flagship, the 530 LXF.
This
model debuts at the Miami Boat Show, and we're going to try it with an exaggerated motorization. 5 Yamaha outboard engines with 425 horsepower. Scout is famous for its technological production facilities, but also for its innovations, many of which are patented, introduced in the nautical sector. Scout has given its own interpretation of the world of center consoles, with a very large and very protective deck house. Before starting the test, safety, life jacket. Now let's take a look at the deck, and let's go to the rudder and to the controls. They have not spared in the width. Look at this bow, how comfortable it is, how wide it is. Many don't understand why you would build such long consoles, but in reality, look how much safer these passages are compared to traditional yachts. The cockpit itself is already quite wide, but the sides open and overturn on the water to widen it. I like this configuration of the cockpit with the kitchen and these seats, as if we were at the bar. And then down here, yes, that's right, it's very hot in Miami, it takes a little ice. The advantage of these larger center consoles is that they are so stable that you can enjoy them from this position even while sailing. Two distinctive elements of the large Scout boat center console, the ladder leading up and the rod holders that fold out. In the dinette, the shape of the furnishings was designed to give maximum space to the kitchen and the sofa. In the bow there is a cabin, accessible through a sliding door. The bathroom is divided into 2 zones, a very large shower and another for services. Aft there is berthing for 2 children or an adult. Scout is also famous for the artisan care of its fishing. Look at these interiors, wonderful. Below those engine covers, there aft, we have the beauty of 40 cylinders for a total displacement of almost 28,000 cc. And all this is controlled by only 2 throttles. Yamaha, to facilitate the manoeuvring of a boat this long, 16.5 meters, there's a joystick. If you think this configuration is exaggerated, you are wrong. They can mount up to 6 engines for a maximum power of 2,700 horsepower. They have taken great care to mount the outboards. They are not all the same height. They are all perfectly calibrated to have the propeller just below the hull, to have therefore also the least possible drag and maximum efficiency. The central one is obviously the lowest. On its sides, the 2 engines, a little bit higher, and at the ends, 2 more even higher.
On the
huge Garmin display that I have here in front, I see that the engines are all perfectly synchronized, and then I can accelerate. I wonder how the hell did they balance this hull with all that weight back there? But they succeeded because it glides well. The angle of climb is minimal. Okay, we're at 15 knots, and maybe this is minimum planing speed. At this moment, the engines are all perfectly aligned at 2,800 RPM.
Beh, il consumo è di...
Well, this consumption is 10 litres for every mile of navigation.
Ora che siamo in assetto...
Now that we are in ascent, let's try to give it a little bit of acceleration.
Oh,
Oh, the sound is not bad.
Eccola, eccola.
Here it is. Here it is. It slides well over the water. It stretches. We are at 30 knots.
Così mi piace. Adesso...
So I like it. Now it has an angle of incidence that I appreciate most.
Ora sono a 4.000 giri minuto. La velocità è
Now
di
I am at
35
4,000 RPM. The speed is 35 knots and consumption has fallen compared to before, 9 litres per mile. But maybe I can do better. I try to give some trim.
Non ho dato più gas.
I didn't give any more gas, I only gave it trim.
Cioè ho portato le eliche un po' più in alto.
That is, I brought the propellers to a little bit higher, a little more towards the surface. I found an angle of incidence a few degrees higher, and in this way, the consumption fell below 9 litres per mile, and the speed has risen to 38 knots.
Ci sono dei problemi quando si montano così tanti.
There are problems when so many engines are mounted on such a large hull. And one of these, in particular, is the flow of water to the engines that are at the ends.
Perché quando lo scafo è in sbandata, rischia...
Because when the hull is banking to one side or another, they risk not being able to take enough water to cool them. And that's exactly what I'm testing.
A 40 nodi in virata, stringendo...
At 40 knots, when turning, increasingly tightening the evolution to keep the water pressure in the engines under control, and I can see that it's perfectly balanced in all 5 outboards. Fantastic.
Questa forma della tuga crea un angolo cieco piuttosto vasto.
This shape of the deckhouse creates a rather low blind angle when turning. You have to bend a little, but all in all, it's an effect similar to the one you feel when you start a curve and you bend.
Li sentite rombare questi motori?
Do you hear these engines roar, eh? They are right, because we are getting up to speed, 4,400 RPM, 10 litres per hour, and the speed is 40 knots.
Però il comfort è assoluto.
But comfortable is absolute. I feel like I'm not moving.
Insomma, questi center console...
In short, these centre consoles are very fast and very stable yachts.
Ora ho raggiunto il regime di 4.800 giri minuto.
Now I have reached 4,800 RPM, what we could consider the maximum cruising speed, as usual, and the speed is 45 knots. I give a little trim to see if we can still gain speed at the same regime. Yes, we're at 46 knots. The trim right now is 50%. I try to increase it again. I added another half knot. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can go full speed. And I do it in turn, and it does not alter its direction. It is of millimetre precision. You can pilot it with your fingertips, also because there are 5 fins behind, which give the hull direction, even at 54 knots. The other reason why this hull is so precise en route is that it has a dead rise aft of 18 degrees. Not bad for a 53-footer. But how do they manage to make it go so fast? Well, you should know that, despite the size of the hull, its weight, including the engines, is 14 tons. Very few for its size. And they managed to contain the weight thanks also to their construction methods. Infused epoxy resin vacuum in glass fibre E and carbon fibre. Can I accelerate a little more? Well, the tank has 3,312 litres. I would say that the fuel should not be a problem. Okay, I have engines at maximum regime, 55 knots maximum speed, with the trims almost at their maximum. Wow, what a fantastic experience on this Scout Boat 530 LXF with 5 Yamaha 425 horsepower outboard engines. Exaggerated, yes, okay, but great.